Agricultural water quality is regulated under the Food Safety Modernization Act Produce Safety Rule. Protecting the safety and quality of your fresh produce is very important. Subpart E of the FSMA Produce Safety Rule states that all agricultural water must be safe and of adequate sanitary quality for its intended use. This requirement applies to all water that meets the definition of agricultural water and is used during and after harvest. This includes water used in the field during harvest as well as during packing, cooling, or holding activities. This video will cover important variables in monitoring water quality during post-harvest activities. The FSMA Produce Safety Rule requires monitoring of treatments for agricultural water. There are many variables that can impact post-harvest water quality and management practices. These variables include initial water quality, pH, temperature, and turbidity. At the start of use, water used for harvest and post-harvest activities must have no detectable generic E. coli in 100 milliliter water sample. If your water comes from an untreated groundwater source, such as well water, it must be tested 4 or more times during the initial year and 1 or more tests in subsequent years. For public water supplies, it is required to have a copy of test results or current certificates of compliance from the public water supplier. Untreated surface water must not be used for post-harvest activities. pH is a measure of the acidity of a concentration and is observed on a scale of 1 to 14. A pH less than 7 is acidic, and a pH greater than 7 is basic. Some sanitizers work best in acidic or neutral pH conditions. Because of this, the pH of the water can impact the effectiveness of some sanitizers, so it is important to monitor the pH of your wash water. A common low-cost way of doing this is by pH test strips. If you need to modify the pH of your water, be sure to use an approved food-grade product, such as citric acid or acetic acid, to lower pH. Water temperature can influence the ability of pathogens to move to the interior of fresh produce and is an important parameter to consider. The Produce Safety Rule requires that water temperature must be maintained and monitored in a way that is appropriate for the operation and product. It also must minimize the potential for infiltration of microorganisms into covered produce. Turbidity, or level of water cloudiness, occurs in water after removing soil and other debris from the produce. It is common in bulk or batch water systems and should be minimized because it can interfere with water quality tests and the effectiveness of sanitizers. It is recommended that all soil and debris be removed prior to washing or cooling in batch or bulk systems in monitoring turbidity. It is important to establish a monitoring system to ensure water quality. This can be done by keeping track of antimicrobial treatments and sanitizer levels and noting pH, temperature, and turbidity of the water. Remember to document all water management activities. This includes water quality tests, antimicrobial product use, monitoring activities, and corrective actions. This will allow you to identify patterns or trends to determine the best practices and help identify when problems tend to arise. For specific record-keeping requirements, please refer to the Produce Safety Rule. Follow these steps to help ensure that your produce is clean and maintains its safety and quality from the time it is planted to the time it is delivered to your customer.